Welcome back to a packed crowd here at the home of the Osceola Bulldogs. 6-0 is the score. Osceola over BDS. Round one of the Class D playoffs. Osceola is the 7th seed, 7-1 on the year. Their only defeat was to St. Francis, 40-8. BDS is number 10. They're 6-2. After this, at 6 p.m., Jake Bartecki will be leading us for another post-game or another postseason game here in Class D playoffs. Doubleheader today. That one will be number 9 Clarkson Lee and number 8 Johnson County Central. 6 p.m. Jake Bartecki on the call. Should be a fun one after this one. I'm Kyle Mathas. This is number 10 BDS, number 7 Osceola, and BDS backed up at the 21. First and probably about 20. Pass play here for Norder on the first play of the second quarter. Goes to the sideline. It's caught there. It's loose out on the far sideline. He makes the catch. Just short of the first down, though. It's a pickup of about 19, and it's going to be 2nd and 1. Well, after the big penalty, after an 11-yard pickup, it's Carson Luce who's able to find some space on that far sideline and make a big catch for a pickup of about 19 or so. 2nd and 1 here for BDS. The way they've been running the ball today, don't want to jinx them, but it might not be an issue for them to pick this one up. Norder with Luce to his left on 2nd and 1. Triple option. They'll flip it out to Luce on the far sideline. Finds a hole. Here goes Carson Luce into Osceola territory. Across the 20, across the 10. It's a foot race, and he's gone for the touchdown. Carson Luce, a simple option play, breaks free and goes for about 40 or so yards. BDS ties the game with a touchdown on only the second play of the second quarter. And now they'll go for 2 to try and take the lead. Carson Luce, what a play. He was about to get tackled initially and just broke free and kind of ran across the field from one side to the other. Beat his man on the run. Here's Norder on the 2-point conversion. Flip out to Luce, this time on the right side. Running to the end zone. He's in for the 2-point conversion, and the Eagles lead it 8-6 over Osceola. Well, Chris Ardisono said he was happy to play. Him and his team are happy to play this week in the playoffs. But right now they have an early second quarter lead when we return. BDS scores the touchdown, 8-6. Eagles lead it over the Osceola Bulldogs on Ole Red. Welcome back to Ole Red 99.5's presentation of high school playoff football, presented by Star Buco Insurance in Fairbury, Wells Implement in Plymouth, Husker Rehab in Fairbury, Beatrice in Nebraska City, and Lincoln, Sherbarth Ace Hardware in Fairbury, and Star Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning of Fairbury. So BDS scores a touchdown, 40-yard rush by Carson Luce. It was a 33-yard touchdown run from Cale Gustafson for Osceola to score their touchdown. They failed the 2-point conversion, but Carson Luce was able to get in for a 5-yard rushing play for the 2-point conversion. Eagles lead it over the Bulldogs by 2. So BDS boots this one away, and it'll go into the end zones. That's actually the first time that BDS has kicked the ball off today, right there, getting in there for a touchback. So now Osceola trying to say, hey, you just scored, let me do you one better. Let us score and take the lead right back. Cale Gustafson, along with some of his guys like Matt Demers, Braden Santos. We'll see what they can do here on offense. And Demers is lined up to the left of Gustafson in the back. In the backfield, lined up to the right as a wide receiver is Santos. He comes in motion. Handoff to Demers up the middle. There goes Demers. He finds some space, picks up about 8 or so up the middle. Simple rushing play goes for 8. It's 2nd and 2 for the Bulldogs. Well, Osceola, looking at their postseason history, they were just at 500 or a little under 500 from 2004 to 2015, but they went 8-2 in 2015. They got one win in the postseason. They had a few good playoff years, but they haven't been too good until the last few years. And now they want to make a deep postseason run. They feel like this is the time to do it. And in motion is Santos. Here's a run by Gustafson, a design quarterback run to the left side. He's going to get wrapped up, and it's officially a pickup of 3, enough for a first down, but there's a flag on the play. And from what I heard from a BDS fan to my left, it seems like it might be holding. And it will be holding on Osceola. which will back them up, so it would have been a first down run. Instead, they get backed up pretty far here. Instead of it being 1st and 10, it's going to be 2nd and 11. 10:55 to play in the first half. What a game it's been so far. A lot more low scoring than most of these teams have been used to this season, scoring about 50 to 60 points per game usually. This is 8-6 right now. I guess there's still a lot of time to score. Santos comes in motion, comes back over to the near side. Fake the handoff. Gustafson keeps it, finds a hole. Cale Gustafson. It's a foot race across midfield. Will he be caught? I don't think he will. Touchdown, Osceola. They score a massive rushing touchdown by Cale Gustafson. That one goes for 71 yards. It was a foot race. He broke into the secondary as BDS sent blitz. And Osceola regains the lead really quickly. Well, that penalty where Gustafson picked up the first down, it doesn't matter because he just gets everything back and more that they had lost. 12-8 is the score. They'll go for 2 to make it a 6-point game. For now, it is a 4-point game. Let's see what they go for here. They're at the 5 for the 2-point conversion. Demers is lined up to the left. He'll get the handoff. Demers to the goal line. He powers in on a run play for the 2-point conversion. 14-8 is the score. Osceola regains the lead off of a 71-yard run by who else but Cale Gustafson, finished off by Matt Demers' 2-point conversion rush. 14-8 is the score. Number 7 Osceola leading it over number 10 BDS early in the second quarter here. We'll be back on All Red. Welcome back to Osceola, Nebraska. 14-8, the home team leading it over Bruning Davenport Shickley Eagles. After a touchdown rush, this game is sponsored by Chapel Roofing in Fairbury, Riverside Chevrolet in Fairbury, Jefferson Community Health and Life in Fairbury, Members Owned Credit Union in Beatrice and Lincoln, Hilltop Performance and Fitness in Crete, and Sat Brothers of Philly, Crete, Lincoln, and Hanover, Kansas. So, 10:27 to play in the second. Osceola kicks it off. This one's taken at about the 4-yard line on the return and bringing it across the far sideline. There he goes. Braden Gardner. It's a foot race. He spins forward inside the 20. Oh, he stepped out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Doesn't matter, though. Braden Gardner with an enormous kickoff return goes from the 4-yard line all the way to the Osceola 27 on the kickoff return. He found some space on that far sideline. You know what, folks? I stand corrected on my earlier assumption of how this might be a lower scoring game than usual. But right now, this seems like it might end up being a pretty high scoring game. These two teams are very good on offense. And right there, it showed, even on the kickoffs. 1st and 10 for BDS. Can Osceola's defense step up, make a big play? Norder. Fake the handoff. He's going to pass it. Play action. He goes over the middle to the end zone. And it's overshot and incomplete for Levi Kamler, who was there. Had his man beat, but he overshot him and incomplete. 2nd and 10. Well, these play action plays, from what I can see from BDS, that are really working out well. The Osceola defense seems like they're really afraid of that rushing play by Norder and Luce. And they have been able to go over the top, just overshot a couple times. 2nd and 10. Fake the handoff. Quarterback run for Norder. Powers forward, gets dragged down by his right leg, up the middle, and picks up about 7 or so. Makes it 3rd and short. Matt Demers on the tackle. Brendan Gable as well. 5'8", 250, the sophomore defender. 3rd and 3 now at the 21-yard line for BDS. Needs to get down inside the 18. Let's see what BDS has to do. They've been putting together some pretty good drives, but they haven't been able to close some of them out. Failed on 2 4th-down conversions. Man in motion is Luce, and they give it to him on a jet sweep going from left to right. Cuts up the middle. Carson Luce into the secondary, and he's dragged down at the goal line. Touchdown, Carson Luce. He gets another one. And BDS strikes back. They tie the game at 14. Those option plays are so lethal right now for Osceola's defense. It starts with Norder, and he decides if he wants to flip it to Luce or not. He's done it twice, and it's worked out for 2 touchdowns. He actually also did that play where he flipped it out to Luce on the 2-point conversion, and they scored on that as well. Will they go for it again? Norder, he's got Luce lined up to his right. This actually looks like it's the formation for the play. We'll see. No, Norder's going to pass it on the 2-point conversion, lofting it over the middle, and it goes in and out of the hands of Eli Weber and incomplete. So they tried to go for a short passing play, and it was overshot by a little bit by Norder. But either way, it's a big touchdown run again of 21 yards for Carson Luce, his second rushing touchdown of the game. 14-14 is the score between BDS and Osceola. Early in the second, here Ole Red High School Playoff Football. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back on a game that it's really a beautiful day out here, but it also is pretty windy as well. The wind kind of switching up. I'm looking out at the flag all the way to my right over by the scoreboard, and that thing is switching up. That thing doesn't know which direction it wants to fly right now. The wind pretty chaotic right now. I don't anticipate too many field goals to be kicked today. So here is the kickoff from the 30, booted deep, and it will be a touchback. So 9:26 to play in the second quarter. What a game it's been so far. 2 rushing touchdowns for Cale Gustafson. One of them 33 yards out, one of them 71 yards total. And then Carson Luce for BDS has 2 rushing touchdowns, one of them 40 yards, the other one 21. Right now it's the Luce versus Gustafson show here. We'll see what happens on this Osceola next drive. This is our 4th drive of the football game. Demers over to the left of Gustafson in the backfield. In motion is Santos. They're going to hand it off to Demers instead. He powers up the gut. Made a few men miss. He gets about 2 or so. So 2nd and 8. Well, so far, Cale Gustafson has been able to kind of slice and dice up this defense and get some touchdowns here, but Demers has been getting some pretty good runs as well. And Braden Santos has been in there a little bit as well. And with those big runs, you cannot forget about the job of the offensive line. They've been able to get and create some holes and some gaps for these running backs. And in motion again. Gustafson fakes the handoff. He'll throw it. Takes a shot down the middle of the field. It's overshot again. He had Braxton Mestel open. If he puts that in the breadbasket, that's going for 6. But he overshot it, and it's 3rd and 8. Really almost had another touchdown there. These play-action passes on both sides of the football really working out well, at least for getting receivers open. Quarterbacks struggling a little bit to put it on the money sometimes. So we'll see what they go for. 8:42 to play in the second quarter. 14-14 if you're just joining us. What a game it's been so far. Both teams 1 for 2 on 2-point conversions. They have 2 touchdowns. Man in motion. Gustafson. Quarterback run on 3rd and long. He powers forward, but he's not going to get there. 2 yards short on a quarterback run up the middle. It's 4th and 2. Tackled by a couple guys. Jaron Norder was in there. Sean Nelson. Some of those guys in that secondary. So the fact that even on a design quarterback run, Gustafson was still able to get into the secondary is pretty impressive. Now it's 4th and short. Gustafson lined up under center. This is going to be clearly a quarterback run. Gustafson powering forward, and he powers forward. He breaks a tackle. Gustafson across midfield, and he's wrapped up by Carson Luce, brought down to the 39-yard line on a quarterback sneak that seemed like it might just get 1 or 2 yards. They end up getting about 15 or 16 yards. Shows the absolute strength by Cale Gustafson. The senior, 6'5", 225 for him. Really, really good guy. And he goes 5 wide as well. Well, not 5 wide, 2 wide per se. Man in motion. It's a jet sweep to Braden Santos from left to right. Goes over. Santos up the far sideline and makes a couple men miss. He's out of bounds at about the 32. 2 yards short. There is a flag on the play. There's 2 flags, actually. One on the far side of the far sideline and the other one at the line of scrimmage. Unofficially, it's an 8-yard gain here for Santos. It's going to be holding, though, on Osceola. So that's the tough part when it comes to these jet sweeps. Trying not to hold when you're trying to block out on that far sideline. And they'll get backed up pretty significantly here, so it could have been 2nd and 2. Instead, it's 1st and about I believe that's about 17. So this is going to be a long way to go either way for Osceola. But the way that Gustafson's been running the football so far, he's done a phenomenal job. We'll see what he can do. Santos to his right. Fake the handoff. Gustafson himself runs it up the middle and barrels his head forward for a short 4-yard gain. And it's going to be about 2nd and 15. Jaron Norton on the tackle right there. So not only does he play quarterback, but he's able to make some plays on defense as well. Haven't actually seen a tackle for loss yet in this game by either team. It's been pretty fundamental offensive football here, especially on the ground. In the rushing department. This game is brought to you by Heath Sports Shop in downtown Crete, Norris Public Power District, and Western United Mutual Insurance Home Office in Wilbur. 2nd and 15 for the Bulldogs. Gustafson keeps it, option play, runs to the near sideline, and tripped up out of bounds after a short 4-yard gain or so. Out to midfield, it'll be 3rd and 11 coming up here for Osceola, who's a 7 seed, 7-1 on the season, and they have played really well, really well. I mean, a 54-8 blowout of Diller Odell, 74-6 over Humphrey Lindsay, 68-22 over Palmer, 62-14 over Giltner. I mean, that's just a few games, folks. There's more blowouts where that comes from for this Osceola team. But they out of a 3rd and 11 here against BDS, another playoff team. Gustafson, design quarterback run to the right side. On the far sideline, Gustafson, nowhere to go. A short 3-yard gain. It's going to be 4th and about 7. Nice tackle there on that play by Keston Dixon. Also able to get in there for a nice play. Brady Noel. Brady Noel makes a play as well as Tanner Bolte, who's in there too. I don't think there's any doubt that Osceola is going to go for this one on 4th and 7. Gustafson coming over to get the play call from Luke Erickson. 6 minutes to play in the second quarter. One of these teams will be playing next weekend in the next round of the postseason. Both of these teams playing their hearts out right now. There's a timeout called by Luke Erickson, and the Bulldogs will take one too. 14-14. Osceola has a big 4th and 7 coming up next on O-Red. Welcome back to O-Red 99.5, BDS versus Osceola. This game is brought to you by Beatrice Community Hospital and Health Center. AgWest Commodities, your marketing partner. Go online at goagwest.com. Miller Sales in Claytonia. Lamel Plumbing in Beatrice. Building Tech, your Seco Systems, Building Systems builder in Beatrice, Creative Surfaces, your countertop specialist of Beatrice. And Closet & Sons, Dirt Work of Beatrice. So back to the game here, 5:49 to play in the second quarter, 14-all between the Eagles and the Bulldogs. 4th and 7 for Osceola. Cale Gustafson lined up alone in the backfield. Fakes the snap, pressured off the edge, gets it off in time. It's caught by Hayden LaValle. LaValle has space up the near sideline, inside the 15, inside the 10, touchdown, Osceola. BDS sent blitz. Osceola went with a screen pass. Hayden LaValle. Touchdown. Osceola stuns these Eagles fans here on the road. What a big-time touchdown play. Cale Gustafson made it seem like he was going to run it. It was pressure off the left side of the offensive line by Tanner Bolte, who seemed like he was probably believing he had a chance to get that one, make that play, and he simply just dumps it off to LaValle on the screen. Now for the 2-point conversion. They'll flip it out to the right side for Gustafson. He slipped a little bit, but he dives in and gets in for the 2-point conversion. So on that 4th and 7, big touchdown pass of about 36 yards by Gustafson to the senior Hayden LaValle. So 22-14 is the score. Bulldogs in the lead. We'll keep it here on Ole Red. Looks like Matt Demers came up a little gimpish after that 2-point conversion run. But it seems to be like he's okay. This game is brought to you by Premier Chevrolet, Buick, GMC of Beatrice. Discover the Premier difference. Tyson Hissong, your State Farm Insurance agent in Hebron. Reinke Manufacturing. Nutrient Ag Solutions. Profit from their experience and visit your Nutrient Ag Solutions location today. Alf's Well Drilling, Bruning Lumber, Bruning Motor Service, and Shickley Lumber Company. Thank you to all of our sponsors here from Ole Red 99.5 for making this possible, for allowing us to bring these playoff games over the station here on Ole Red to all of the listeners at home who might not be able to make it to this game in person, but they want to listen. We're glad that we can be bringing you these postseason games, folks. But Osceola leads at 22-14 over BDS here on Ole Red 99.5. Gustafson to boot it away. He'll kick it from the 30. This one is easily going into the end zone for a touchback. There's no doubt about it as Braden Gardner makes the catch in the end zone. So BDS will start at the 15-yard line. Well, the wind wasn't blowing that much on that kick, but Gustafson made it seem like the wind blew that ball all the way back. But no, that's just the power of his leg. Gustafson can run it, he can pass it, he can kick it. Pretty much exactly what you want on a dual threat guy. So BDS needs to respond. Can they respond from their own 15? The 10 seed, BDS Eagles, against the number 7 Osceola Bulldogs. This is only the first game that we'll have today on Ole Red for a doubleheader. The first play is a play action for Norder. A ton of time to throw it. He's getting pressured off the edge. He's going to get the ball off, and that might be intentional grounding as he was getting sacked back at the 1-yard line on the play by Braxton Mestel. And if you can hear, if you can even hear me over the crowd noise made it evident that they threw a flag on that play for intentional grounding on Jaron Norder. 5:28 to play. Intentional grounding on Norder as he was getting wrapped up by Mestel back at the goal line. This is going to be back at the spot of the foul, which I believe, okay, so they're being generous. So this is at the 3 when I thought it was at the 1. Either way, he didn't get it across the line of scrimmage. No receiver in the area. So it's 2nd and 22 officially here. All the way back at the 3. Tanner Bolte lined up to the left. Design quarterback run. Actually, it's a wildcat for Luce, who gets wrapped up at the 2-yard line. Loss on the play of 1 yard. 3rd and 23. So Luce, who's been just super good today with breaking tackles, getting huge gains. He already has 2 rushing touchdowns in this game. And Osceola didn't let him get anything on that play. Actually, that's the first tackle for loss of the game by the Bulldogs. So 3rd and 23. Almost, honestly, 3rd and half of a football field here. Defense chants back and loud. Osceola up by 8. Norder, design run, flips it out to Luce over on the left side, comes up the near sideline, across the 10, wrapped down at the 11. Gain on the play of about 9 yards, comes up well short of the line to gain. 4th and about 14. Cale Gustafson on the tackle there for Osceola. With 4:20 to play in the first half. Oh boy, is BDS going to go for this? That's the question. They are definitely going to punt. I don't think there's any doubt about it. Braden Santos standing back at his own 35 to return. Punting from his goal line is Jaron Norder. Norder to get it and boots it high in the air. Santos, he muffed it at the 25. It bounces at the 15. He picks it up at the 14. Here goes Santos trying to find some space, and he gets wrapped up at the 25. So actually, that's a lot better than it could have been. He ends up picking up 11 yards on that return. Could have been down at the 14, got to the 25. Actually could have ended up being recovered by BDS. That would have been worst case scenario right there for Santos, but he ends up making something out of nothing. And not bad starting field position here for Osceola at all at the 25-yard line. They haven't shown signs today that they are struggling to score the football at all. 22-14 is the lead. They lead by 8. Late in the first half. Can they get something to go here? Gustafson. Fake the handoff. He'll throw it. He gets pressured. Goes over the middle. It could be picked. It is picked by Carson Luce at the 26-yard line. Intended there for Hayden LaValle. He could have had another receiving touchdown. But Carson Luce jumps on the underthrown ball and gets the interception for BDS. They get the football right back. Now the BDS crowd back into it. They were a little quiet. And now it is completely switched. BDS fans loud, Osceola fans quiet. Ball at the 30-yard line. Let's see what BDS can do here. First turnover for either team in this game. And we've already been through almost the entire first half. Shows how good these two teams are. Norbert from the 30. Design quarterback run. Nope, he'll pass it. Gets it out in the flat to the far side. Tanner Bolte on the far sideline. Getting upfield, and the big man gets out of bounds for a 9-yard pickup. Nice 9-yard pickup there for Bolte. 250 pounds, rumbling his way down the field. 2nd and 1 here for BDS. Looked like a design run for Norder, who ran to his right and then threw it back to his left, where Bolte was waiting wide open. Still 3:33 to play here in the first half. And what is a beautiful, beautiful late afternoon football game here between BDS and Osceola. Handoff to Luce, who gets over to the right side, picks up a first down, gets across midfield, wrapped up at the 34-yard line. Wow, that you really could not tell at all who had the football in that play. Norder did a really good job at, even I was a little confused on that. Luce got the football at literally the last second possible. Ended up picking about 9 yards or so up for the first down, about the 34. Carson Luce having himself a really good game right now. He is really, really playing well. He's just a junior, so he still has another year of BDS football. 1st and 10 from the 34 of Osceola. Luce in motion, and they will hand it off to Luce on a jet sweep from right to left, and he gets mapped up and brought down. A short gain of about 2 or so by Luce. It'll be 2nd and 8. He really got tackled hard on that play by Gustafson. Also, Mestel was in there too. 2nd and 8 is the official downage. This game is brought to you by Bruning Bank, member FDIC, Fortify Group Insurance and Real Estate, with offices in Geneva, Shickley, and Davenport, and Bruning Grain and Feed Company. 2nd and 8 with 2:20 to play. Man in motion is Luce from left to right. They fake the jet sweep, keeping it as Norder, powering upfield into the linebacker core, and gets about 5 yards or so, maybe 6. Either way, it'll be 3rd and short coming up here. This game is brought to you by Crete Area Medical Center, Wilburn Friend Medical Clinic, Smith Auto in Pawnee City. Learn more at smithauto.ne.com. Friend Fertilizer, your Ranky dealer and friend. Glenda and Jana Austin, your shelter insurance agents in Fairbury. So with under 2 minutes to play in this first half, BDS trying to tie this game up. Down by 8, 22-14 against Osceola. 3rd and short, 3rd and about 3. This is 4-down territory, though. Luce will not get the carry. Norder's going to the end zone, and it's overshot and incomplete for Levi Kamler. Again, they go with play action. Again, they take a shot down the end to the end zone. Kamler couldn't get there, but a nice play by Braden Santos to stay with him. Break up that pass. 4th and 3 now. Minute 32 to play. The clock is stopped. Still 3 timeouts for BDS, 2 for Osceola. And right as I say it, BDS uses their first timeout of the first half. So we'll take 1-2. 1:32 to go in the first half. Great game between Osceola and BDS. 22-14. Bulldogs leading it over the Eagles in this first game of this playoff doubleheader tonight on Ole Red 99.5. Number 10 BDS versus number 7 Osceola. Our first game of this doubleheader this evening. After this, number 9 Clarkson Lee takes on number 8 Johnson County Central here on Ole Red at 6 p.m. kickoff. Jake Partecki will be on the call for that. 5:45 pregame. 4th and 3. Norder to take the snap. He's going to throw it. Goes over the middle. It's knocked down to the line of scrimmage and incomplete by Connor Schnell. He knocked it down on the deflection, and another failed 4th down conversion for the BDS Eagles. Excuse me, it's actually Aiden Fiesel who knocked that one down. Excuse me. Also around in the area was Connor Schnell. Nice play there as they knocked it down back towards Norder, actually. Could have seen another situation where you pass it to yourself, which I believe we did see that in a college game on Saturday, if I am not mistaken. 1st and 10. Play action for Gustafson. Pump fakes and decides to run it himself. Coming to the near sideline across the 30. Knocked out of bounds at the 32-yard line. So the pickup officially is about 5 yards or so. It'll be 2nd and 5 here as the clock stops with 1:21 to go. Well, the perfect situation right now for Osceola would be to score before the half and take a 2-score lead into halftime against the BDS team who's just been able to strike back every drive. They are actually 1 for 4 on 4th down conversions today. BDS is. Gustafson from the 33. Man in motion, fake the handoff. Gustafson keeps it himself, running to the right. Powers forward and gets maybe a yard short of the line to gain. 4-yard pickup. Needed 5. 3rd and 1. Still 1:05 to play. So that actually, being marked short, actually hurts Osceola as the clock continues to run. Under a minute to play. Gustafson under center. QB run. QB sneak. He gets out to midfield. Picks up about 3 yards and gets the 1st down. And the clock stops with 52 to play in the 1st half. Still 2 timeouts left for Osceola. Luke Erickson called one earlier on in the 2nd quarter. They're right at midfield, Osceola, but this clock is running with 40 seconds to play in the 1st half. They got to hurry it up. Play action for Gustafson. Looking down the field, throwing it, and it's incomplete. Intended for Braxton Meskel here on the near sideline. Good coverage by Sean Nelson, the junior. So it'll be 2nd and 10 now. And you know what? That's not the worst case scenario for Osceola because the clock stops too with 35 seconds on the dot. So still ball at midfield here. Osceola up 22-14 over BDS. BDS, like I said, it made the playoffs for 13 straight seasons since 2010 and 11. Man in motion. Fake the handoff. Gustafson waiting, getting pressured. Got it off and threw it out of bounds and across the line of scrimmage. Was getting pressured there by Tanner Bolte, but he managed to get the pass off in his 3rd and 10. Well, folks, BDS has a really, really good playoff resume. They've won every time they've made it to the postseason since 2010 and 2011. They've won every year except for 2018-19. That's the only season that they haven't won a playoff game when they have made the postseason. Will they win one this year, or will Osceola make it to the next round? BDS are the 10 seed, Osceola the 7. Gustafson on 3rd and 10. Plump fake. Gustafson's pressured, throws it to the sideline, incomplete. There's a flag on the play. That pass was incomplete on the far sideline, went out of bounds. There is a flag, though, at the line of scrimmage. This might be on BDS, depending on if Tanner Bolte's reaction was authentic or not. 24 seconds to go, and actually it's going to go on Osceola. An eligible man downfield with 24 seconds to go, and you got to think that they'll decline that one and make it 4th and 10. It is declined. Well, actually, now you got to think maybe will Osceola go for this on 4th and 10 from midfield with 24 on the clock. I don't see a reason why they don't. Even if they don't convert this, they still wouldn't be giving BDS much time at all with the ball. But it looks like they're going to punt this one, pending a fake. Gustafson at his 30 boots it away, and this one looks like it's easily going to go into the end zone, and it will. For a touchback, 18 to go in the 1st half. This game is brought to you by Prairie View Industries, North Highway 15 in Fairbury. Tim Hartley with Hebron Tree Service, Thayer County Health Services in Hebron. Bruning, Davenport, and Deschler, and Southeast Valley Irrigation or Valley Dealer in Bruning. Well, for folks, Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for heavy machinery, ag equipment, trucks, trailers, and more. Visit gocurrency.com for details. 18 seconds to play. BDS gets the football after the punt at the 15. 2 timeouts left for the Eagles, but I don't know if they have anything. I don't know if they have enough time, really, to get down the field and make a play. Norder trying to get the ball off quickly, and he does. Carson loose on the handoff, gets around on the left side, cuts back up the midfield, and gets down for a gain of 9 yards. And Chris Ardisono, head coach of the Eagles, will call a timeout. We'll take 1-2. 9 seconds to go. 2nd and 1. Ball at the 24 of BDS coming up. Eagles trying to get at least a few points before the halftime break. We'll be right back here on Ole Red. Welcome back to Ole Red 99.5, BDS versus Osceola playoff game. I know we're doing high school football right now, but I want to remind you that on Saturday at 1 p.m., Doane plays Midland in Fremont, Nebraska here on Ole Red. 2nd and 1 with 9 seconds to play. Carson Luce, a handoff to the right side, gets upfield on the far sideline, and did he get knocked out of bounds? No, but there is a flag on the play with 2 seconds to go. This might end up being holding depending on where the call is, and it looks like it is going to be on BDS. So 2 seconds to play. Maybe they'll go with a Hail Mary. Or they might just take this to the halftime break. What a game it has been so far, though. Very close and very evenly matched. Also, really high-octane game. As actually after the penalty, the clock runs, and the 2 seconds goes from 1 to 0. Triple zeros on the clock, and 1/2 in the books here. The Osceola crowd, probably right now, from what I can see, way more vocal and upbeat than the BDS crowd. Who knows how that'll be after the fourth quarter ends, but right now, at the halftime break, Osceola, the 7 seed, leads it over number 10 BDS, 22-14. We'll be back for our halftime show presented by Norder Supply, your full-service agronomy specialist, right after this on Ole Red.